Hello, my name is Danny, and I am one-fifth of the original team that created the app StudyBuddy. I thought I would do you a bit of a walkthrough and show you that application, but also show you some of the planning we put into it as a team, how we came about with the idea, and a bit of a backstory behind the application itself. So we'll park the demo for just a moment. So, just a bit of backstory. We were 5 student developers on the School of Code Software Development bootcamp. This was our midterm project at the 8-week mark. It was a 16-week course. And some of the team had not had any coding experience previous to that 8 weeks. So it was a big ask then to get us to create this application within a week, but I think we did an excellent job. So you'll see here one of the first things that we did as a team was to define our team manifesto, which is very important for making sure that communication is good, because it can be quite a high intensity thing on the bootcamp. So you'll see there we had daily retrospectives. We encouraged people to put the team before themselves. We made sure that everyone was sharing what they learnt, and so on. The manifesto was very, very useful for us. So with the manifesto defined, we moved on to our research, and we started off by just jotting down what we thought students needed, the problems that we had come into contact with ourselves, things that we thought could be improved about the boot camp, and the tools that we had for communication currently. And then from there, we moved on to surveying our users. So you'll see from our survey, we had lots of feedback. We were lucky enough to get 38 other boot campers who were very busy at the time to answer our questions for us, and it gave us loads of both qualitative and quantitative data that we could use to shape our idea of what this application should be. We followed up our interviews with our survey with in-person interviews, getting more one-to-one feedback, and sort of firing off some ideas onto people and seeing what they thought about them, which was very useful as well. And from there, we were able to move into the ideation process. And this process had been introduced to us as the Disney ideation process, which takes place in 3 stages. So the first one is the dreamer stage, where we get to write down anything we'd really like to appear in the app. So any idea we have, if it sounds good, pop it down on the page for everybody to see. And then we would move into the second stage, which was the realist, where we started to dissect those ideas and think, can they really be made? Is it feasible? What technology would we need to do that? And finally, the critic phase, where we kind of try to pull things apart a bit and go, is this really doable? And if not, we'd have to throw it out. So with our research done, we were able to put together a couple of user personas. I'll just focus on one for now. We thought about who exactly was the person that we were aiming our application at, and we were aiming it at the typical boot camper. So there was 2 different versions. One who didn't have a lot of time, was maybe a mother, had parenting duties on the side, and our John Doe, who had a lot more time, was very enthusiastic and wanted to share everything. And we fleshed them out with their interests and influences, needs, expectations, goals, and so on. So we had a really solid idea of who we were building the application for. And then finally, we could move on to defining what our minimum viable product was, based on all of our research and our ideation. So we chose, for the features that we knew we wanted to bring forward for this first phase of the app, we needed individual logins, a community landing page that's more of our like chat room style place where people could talk about stuff, and a place to manage and share resources. And with that done, we could move on to the design phase. So here we are in Figma. Now, I was coming from a background where I have quite a bit of experience in Illustrator and Adobe, and even though I hadn't used Figma before this course, I took to it like a duck to water. I even found a lot of the shortcuts are the same, and I was able to work very quickly. So it gave us a real head start. But when we came to doing the wireframing and design, I first went and chose a color palette, tried to find one that was nice that the team'd like. We went with a dark theme. We thought we probably wouldn't get time to implement light and dark theme, and if we're going to choose one, we'll go with dark, because one of our interviewees specifically said that they can't focus or concentrate on anything that's too bright. So we went with a dark theme with nice bright pastel colors. We started with low fidelity wireframes. These were built up a little bit later. I'm sorry I didn't save them, but we very quickly moved on to some higher fidelity wireframes, a full color palette that can be used for everyone by everyone as reference. And you will see when we take a look at the app that the design really didn't change much. We were able to stick to this and get it working pretty much spot on. Another thing you'll notice are these illustrations. These are originals. So one of our team members, Olivia, did a degree in illustration, and so I asked her to make all of the illustrations for us, and there are more in the app, and she was very happy to do so, which was great. I think it gives the app a real nice different look and feel to it. And we've also got a logo, a fancy, nice, like modern looking tech logo, which is based on this illustration, which is very cool. So if we go and take a look at the application now, here we are, StudyBuddy. This is the home screen, and we can log in or register if we haven't logged in before. Our register form is quite simple. It's just full name, email, username, password, and we haven't got a way to store images in the backend yet, so we just take an image URL from our users and we can populate their profile image using that. But I don't need to do that. I have an account, so I can log in. Here we go, log in. It says welcome back, Danny. So here we are. This is the home page now, and if I want, I can visit my account page here. So we've got my name and username and email. This feature hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. We wanted a way to allow users to rate themselves on various things, because we thought if people are looking for help with topics, that they could look around at different users and see their reviews of themselves in order to know, I have a backend problem, I'm looking for someone who also has a backend, well, who has some knowledge of backend to help me, but it's just not fully implemented yet. It is in the database columns, but I wanted to add a nice like animated feature here, but it's just not quite there yet. As I said, we didn't have a lot of time. So we can go back to the homepage again. And all of these are our chat rooms, open bar, backend, front end, UI, UX. All of these open up a separate Google Meet link. So anyone using the app who decides to go and visit those buttons will enter a chat room based on that topic. The open bar is for anything you can talk about, Coronation Street or kangaroos, whatever you fancy. And then it's backend, front end, and UI, UX. And then we have probably the main feature here is our resource library. So we can visit here and we've got some different topics, fun stuff, backend, front end, UI, and UX. So we can visit any one of these now and we can see that our users have been sharing these resources for everybody, and they have a title, description, it tells us who shared it, and we have an image included with each one, and the way that's done, it's similar to the registration form. We add a title, we add a link, let's do HTTP, an image URL, I think I have one handy, there we go, and description, and I can add that there, and you can see that our resource has been added, and if I go there it should take us to Google. There we go, lovely. And we can go back, and finally we can log out. So there we go, that's been StudyBuddy. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Bye now.